Evening everyone, it's Ian from DIY Home and Gardening. Mid-May video, it's the 19th today. I've been doing a bit of planting up here at the new allotment. At some point it will cease being the new allotment, but for the time being, the new allotment. So yeah, thought I'd show you the progression of up here, the old allotment, and at home. So yeah, if I turn the camera around, we can have a look together. So odd bits have changed. The soil pile is gradually getting less, as is the manure pile. Haven't done anything with that section as yet. That is to be for the pumpkins. All the chrysanthemums planted, looking a little bit dry. That's because, strangely enough, we've had 2 days of decent weather. But you can see they're starting to get a bit of strength in the stems, so they need tying in. So that's a job for this week. Well, this bed looks pretty weedy, considering that it's already had cardboard to put down and manure beneath that, which should have suppressed the weeds. So that wants a weed before filling with soil. Nonetheless, that would be for the peas and beans. Well, this one I've just finished planting, and you'll be able to see the video on it. I planted it yesterday with a couple of additions today. So this is my twist on the Three Sisters planting. So in place of a normal edible legume, I've planted sweet peas through the middle, so they give some nice attractive flowers, hopefully, which should be, one, it'll look good, and two, hopefully entice a few more bees and pollinators in. Got 2 types of corn, so mini corn or mini popcorn, and then incredible, which is a larger one, or vice versa. On this side, got golden courgettes and the green courgette, and on the other side, got some squash. So got Turk's turban down here and Yuki curry there. Additionally, what I've also done, I've used some of the manure, the less manure-y manure. So the more straw type manure, that's gone down. I've put that around the brassicas, so they're starting to do well. So there's the cauliflower, kale, and purple sprouting broccoli. So they're doing their thing. As yet, parsnips have not come up or showing any sign, so I've got a feeling that actually the cold wet that's been around for ages has probably caused the seeds to fail and probably rot. But it's like everything, got to kind of give it the benefit of doubt, just in case they do sprout. But I think it's, by the time I decide they're not going to germinate, it'll be too late. So for the time being, it is what it is. Little bit of overspill garlic that I had. So these are the late main crop potatoes I put in, the Blue Bell. Main crops here looking good. Again, I've covered those over. And where's the name? Can't remember what it was. Anyway, they went in. Main crop's looking good, and then got the earlies, second earlies. So Pendant Javelin here, and Wilgers there. So again, you can see that I've mulched around those. Next job on the list really is to make a bed here, which will be to put the dahlias in, I think, as they'll be the next things that really need to get out. So yeah, that's going to be a job for next week, I think. So here we are down at the old allotment, if you like. Got the strawberries in. There's a couple of them look a little bit dry, but on the whole they're all right. So yeah, put the cover back on just to try and keep some of the pests off, but I did notice as I was actually planting them out that they have got some aphid on a few of the leaves, so we shall see. Broad beans are absolutely massive, so they've got to be about 4.5 feet in height now, and as you can see they're looking pretty clean, and that is because they were sown in the autumn. So you always find it that the autumn sown broad beans don't suffer with the aphid attacks as the spring sown ones do, and that's for the simple reason that actually they put on plenty of growth start of the year, which is nice and soft, and the aphids aren't around then, whereas the spring sown broad beans are still putting loads of growth on for spring and makes a tasty meal for aphids. Right, so we got broad beans, got a few weeds, but also a few beetroot have come through as well. I can't for the life of me think what that row was meant to be, but we can have a quick look. What is that? Oh, kohlrabi. I can't see that there's many or any kohlrabi germinated amongst that lot. No, I don't think there's any come through, so that's a waste of time. Got the row here of radish, so they're doing okay. This mass of colour, well, that's actually the curly kale. My onion experiments, which you can see going into flower stage. Egyptian walking onion just starting to unfurl to do their thing. Let's cover that a little bit. Kale Cavolo Nero, lettuce just well, nearly ready for harvesting. The autumn sown cabbage, so essentially grown as spring greens, well, they're plenty big enough to start picking those. Likewise the spinach, really that wants having before it goes like that and starts trying to bolt, so looking pretty good, although slightly scorched. I spent a good 2.5 hours the other day doing a proper weed up of all these beds, and definitely looks better for it, and you can now see the size on these onions. So yeah, they're the autumn giants. No, they're not, they're sensu up till there, and then they're winter red. These are autumn champion, sorry. Then got the remainder of sensu and some winter red. Then we've got two varieties of the shallots, which they're still struggling a little bit, although you can now see the dark green centres to them, so really probably want to get the covers off and give them a feed. And also you can see that there's quite a few flower heads starting to appear, so the scapes, which they just want whipping off before the goodness goes into the flower production. Garlic looking really good actually. I gave those a feed with some fish blood and bone about a week ago, and they're really looking good for it. Again, the odd scape appearing, which they just want pulling off, so if you don't pull them off they will go into flower, and normally you don't tend to get too much formation on them, but some varieties are more prone than others. as you can see, they're all looking pretty good, or all looking good. And this is the elephant garlic, which is looking nice and strong, especially like the odd stem, nice and thick. This is the block that's been grown to sell on. Got most of it weeded other than that small section there. So that's that done. Got plenty of these calendulas sprouting everywhere. This is sort of a bit of an overspill bed. This was predominantly from the sun to do, but you can see there's some elephant garlic popping there as well. Got the black currants starting to form and the blueberries, and essentially that is it for this bed here, this plot here. So now to well, get home and show you what's happening there. Right, back home, start this end. Rhubarb, it's only put on loads of growth, as we'd hope. So that had also had fish blood and bone feed, same time as garlic and onions up the plot, doing its thing. There are the blackberries, massive flower, so hopefully a good crop from that. Look at that viburnum, looking cracking. We've we bought a puppy, so now there's more holes getting dug in the garden. Rosemary, still looking good. Gooseberry, haven't sprayed it, decided not to, but it's a good amount of fruit formation in there. Tayberry, again got some decent growth appearing now off side shoots and some flower. Potato in the pot, doing its thing. So within here, ginger, that's all potted, as you can see, into the 1 litre pots, doing pretty well. Although they're sitting on this section, the heat mat is now turned off, as quite frankly the plants don't need it. All of this lot on the top here, well, they're all the chili peppers and sweet peppers, and I've got some under there as well, which I left them under there in a vain sort of hope to try and get them to grow a bit more. Down the end here, pumpkins, couple of types of melon that was sort of struggling, cucumbers across here, and then some more pumpkin there. Remains of some tomatoes, not quite sure what I'm going to do with those ones, you'll see in a minute. Strawberry hanging basket, doing okay. Autumn beetroot, autumn sown carrot, autumn sown spring onion. We picked a few of those, for the guinea pigs, nothing else. Artichoke and Jerusalem artichokes. These are all the tomatoes. So I've potted 3 of each into their 3 litre pots. At next stage of pottings, when I'll put a cane in them. Grapevine, that's crimson seedless. It's only gone absolutely mental. It had fallen on top of all the sunflowers, hence they're looking a little bit bent, but doing all right. Bit of dahlia, so some, yeah, they're going to bed when it's ready. Onion, kelsey, and then in here, mixture, some beans, celery, can't remember what's down there. Oh, some soybean that's literally dies on a daily basis. Peas, still done nothing with those. Beetroot, Welsh onion, Brussels, ready to get in there, and the leeks, and a bit of fennel, and essentially that is it. But yeah, job done really. Last couple of things which I forgot to show you actually. So sweet potato slips there, and these, which are the Cape Gooseberry officalis. So that's these rows here, or that row, sorry, and this row is some stevia. So not many, but a few still survive. Well, these are some Chinese hibiscus, which quite frankly are proving to be very difficult to get going. That's all that remains. So yeah, don't bother trying it. And that's that. That's the mid-May roundup of essentially the allotment and vegetable plants. As you can see, well, as you could see, there's quite a lot of things happening. Certainly some decent progress and movement within the growth stages of the plants, but hopefully, fingers crossed, the weather should stay a bit more consistent, and then we'll see some proper growth happening, which would be nice. Be nice to see some sun. So anyway, goodbye from me. If you do have any questions, and obviously send them over to me. If you like what I'm doing, then please subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to hit that reminder button so you don't miss out on the future videos. And always say it, but it's so true. Enjoy what you're doing, have fun, and certainly, whilst it's not raining, make the most of your evening. Excuse the washing line and all the other stuff, but you know, the rest of it looks all right. See you soon. Bye for now.